So yesterday we talk about function declaration, how to declare a function, what function declaration is all about, function expression, how to assign a function to a variable. Then yeah, I will send the note this evening. I will send the note this evening. Then the video you have to watch it. You have to watch it. Very very important. We look at parameters and values. The video is like I break everything down. I break everything down. You understand? It's not something hard that you will not understand. So today we'll be looking at function scope and block scope. Function scope and block scope. So yesterday I talked about um, function and what is a function. Function is simply if you google it now, it's still the same thing. I'm going to tell you. Function is just a block of code that is used to perform a specific task, and also it is reusable. Let me write it here. Discover if you can see my VS code.
Yes, yes, I can.
All right, thank you. Function is a reusable block of code that used to perform a specific task. Yeah, just like your fan in your house now have its own function. Your AC have its own function. Your phone have its own function. The dress you put on they have their own functions. The bag you carry have its own function. You understand? So that's function, and they perform a specific task. So the fan perform a specific task, which is ventilation ventilation to your environment or to your house. Yeah, AC too also provide give or perform a task of giving a ventilation. Do you understand? Then some other things like that. So I want to use a computer as an example. Computer receive those days in primary school they say computer is an electronic computer is an electronic device. Even that sef android phone never come outside that collect information and also process information and give and output give and output as a data or something like that. Do you understand? So now a function is still the same thing. Function receive what we call parameters. I'm trying to do a recap of what I said yesterday. Function receive a parameter and values. It return it returns an output. Return an output. So it's still the same thing as computer. Receive collect okay function collect parameters and values. It returns an output. So that's it. This is one. I see everything. Oh, everything's fine. All right. Now we have, when it comes to function, there are two type of function. We have function scope and we have scope. Function scope, right, is a type of, is when variables is declared inside the function. As variables declared inside the function are only accessible inside that function. Variable declared inside the function are only accessible inside the function. What is a variable? This is a variable. Let's name equal to Bernard. This is variable declaration, or the best name to call it is variable initiation. You have initiated, understand. But when you say variable declaration, means that you are just saying let name, then this. That's variable declaration. Means that you you store this thing in a memory, but there's no value attached to it. You store it in a memory, but there's no value attached to it. Why this one? You store this one in a memory, but a value is attached to it. So this one is initialized, while this one is what? Declaration. Now what they are now telling us is that variable declared inside the function are only accessible inside that function. Example, function show message. Now let message equal to hello. I've seen it. Let message equal to hello. We now have console.log message. Then show message. This is where you call it. I call it the function here. I call it the function here actually. Yeah. So let me just explain using VS Code. Alright. So we have show message. Okay. So what they are saying is that a function that is declared, sorry, a variable that is declared, or that is it initialized in a function, because it's a function. Let me show you, because I don't think you were around when we were doing this part. So the way to write function is that you must have, your function must have a keyword, a reserved keyword in JavaScript called function. A reserved keyword in JavaScript called function. So the function must have a reserved keyword called function, then name, which is the variable name, then parameters. I talk about parameters here the other time. Yeah, parameters. Then it must return a value. Return value. Return value. You understand? Return. It must take in parameters. It must also return what? A value. Now the parameters can come in different ways. Parameters can come in something like this. Function name is add. Then let's say 1, 2. That's what? That's the function. Then you return a plus b. Then after returning a plus b, we now have after this class I will need to tell you something. So then if you want to call the function, you now say console.log, then function name is add, then now have 1 and 3. Yeah, okay. So that's it. Okay, and say let a equal to 2, let b equal to, sorry. So these are variables actually, but they are also called what? Parameters. So you can decide to say let a equal to 1 and let b equal to what? Equal to 2 or equal to 3. Then you can now come here and say 1 and what? And 3. So when you say 1 and 3, what you will get on the console, which is on the other side of your browser, you will get 4. So that's it. Now, in this function scope now, function scope, this function scope, right? They are saying that function show message, then this is the function keyword, right? Then this is what? Are you still here? Okay. Are you sure you are here?
Yeah.
Alright. So this is the function keyword. This is the name of the function. This is the name of the function. Now inside the function now, which is curly bracket, here you can also have code to execute or run. Do you understand? So this is the code to execute, or this is the code to run actually. You get, so they say function that is declared inside the block of code are only accessible, sorry, variable that are declared inside the block of code are only accessible within what? Within a function. Variable declared inside the block of scope, inside the function block of scope are only accessible inside that function. And this function is what? Is declared, this function is a block of what? Function block of code, scope. So for you to access message now, it will be very easy for you to access message. But we say you know how to access message, you know how to access message, right? Look at what will happen now. Are you seeing it? Message is not defined. Message is not defined. That tells you that, which is this is it too. They say message is not defined. That means that the JavaScript is not seeing this what? This message, which is the JavaScript is seeing this thing here now as a different thing to this one. You understand? It's telling you that this one is not defined at all. So let's say imagine that you have, hope you are getting what I'm saying. No, imagine that you have let message
Yeah.
equal to let message equal to peace. Let message equal to peace. Look at what will happen. I seen it. I seen peace. So that's what they are trying to tell us. So any variable inside the block of code like this, function block of scope, the variable can only be accessed inside this, but cannot be accessed outside the block of code, outside the block of code. This block of code now, right? This block of code actually, look at it. This block of code. So any variable that you want to access now, you must access it inside this. You must access it inside this function, inside the function. So let's see something. 4. Undefined. I don't understand. Okay, sorry. How to call the function? Yeah. So that's it. If you watch the last video now, you see where I talk about this, how to call after declaring the function. You now need to do what? You now need to call the function. So this is the way to call the function. And also you can also call the function at the top of the function. That's what we'll not talk about. That's what we'll not talk about this other part. Hosted and not hosted. One is that you can call the function before you define the function. You understand? Then the other one is you must define the function first before calling it on this side. You get? So that's hosted and not hosted. Hosted is, look at it. Final declaration defines a function with a name and can be used before it is defined in that code. Before it is defined in that code. Because of what? Hosting. Because of hosting. Do you get? But if you don't do it like that, you get errors. You get errors. So that's why it's very important. You have to know when to call the function at the top and when to call the function at the bottom. But to me, I prefer calling the function after you have already defined it. You get? So that's that for that. Then we're also looking at block scope. Block scope. Variable declared with let or cost inside this curly bracket exists only within that block of code. It's almost the same thing like the first one. Does it tell us that does it tell us that any um sorry, variable declared with let or constant inside inside this curly bracket inside this curly bracket they are only accessible within what? Within the curly bracket. That's what we are trying to tell you here. Variables declared with let or constant inside the curly bracket exist only within that block. Exist only within that block. So let's say, for example now, if true, this is a conditional or yeah, this if else statement now, it's not a function. If true, then inside the curly bracket and look at it, we have let s equal to 10 and let cost equal to what, 20. Now when you do console dot log s, it will throw an error, it will not work. Let's try it. Oh my god. Oh. To be now is not easy. Now remember, this is not just a function, we are using our normal if else statement to tell you that any block of code or that is any variable that is declared with let are constant cannot be accessible outside that block of code, cannot be accessible outside that block of code. Let's say console.log s now, s, so what they will tell us. Let's say it's not okay. Oh, are you seeing it? You see the error just now saying s is not what, s is not what, is not defined. But just imagine that we use var. Just imagine, or let's just try something. We use var. Are you seeing it? And so whenever you use var, you can access it outside curly brackets. But when you use let or constant, you cannot access it outside the curly bracket. You cannot access it
Okay.
outside the curly bracket. Yeah. So you see, var is not a block scope. If true, this is that. Closures is very important, but we'll not dive in like that. It's not much important. I mean to say. So a closure is when the function remembers variables from its outer scope even after the outer function has finished running. Even after the other outer function has finished running. This one is the most important and confusing concept actually. That's true. So we have function outer, right? This is a function. um Then this the curly bracket for that function. This is the curly bracket for that function. Now inside the function, say let count equal to what? 0, right? Then
Yes.
we now have another function inside the first function.
The first function.
Are you seeing it? So the other function we now have now, we name it inner. So function inner, then count plus plus, then return what? Return count. So by the time it now return count, by the time it return count, in this other side you are returning what? You are returning inner. So the answer you are getting from here, you feed it back to where? You feed it back to this other side, so that this other side can give, return it.
Okay.
Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Alright. So let's try it out. Let me come again. So we have function, we have another function, and each of them are located inside. So this one now is located inside this function called outer. um Outer.
Okay.
Yeah. Then the result that you are getting from here now, because you are doing increase, you are doing increment. So the result you are getting from here now, you are feeding the result what? the inner, which is where you are returning an answer, you are returning an output, you are returning a finished product. So by the time you now return it to inner stuff, this inner function name, so you now look at it, you now say, oh, it's tally o, or it's correct o, then you now feed it to this side, you now feed it to this side. So by the time you now feed it to this side, you now say come back like this, return the answer that this one provided.
Okay.
You understand? Alright, so let's do it. Let's do it. Oh, oh, oh. This way. Oh, yeah. So we are in our VS Code. This is a one. This is a function one, and that function is inside another function called outer function. And inside the function, you initialize a variable. You initialize a variable, and you give it a value of 0. Then you lock up for that one. You now come here. You now define another function again and say that let the function increase. Let the variable increase because this is the variable now, right? This is the variable. So you're now saying let the variable
Yes.
increase. So this plus this, remember when we are doing looping now, plus it's telling you that you should do what? You should increase. You are increasing it plus one.
Increase.
Yeah, you are increasing it. So that's what we are doing here. So you are increasing it.
Yes.
The result that you now get from here now after the increment, you now feed it into this inner. And from here now it will now come to this side. So by the time you now come here, you have to give an output now to now return and give an output. You understand? You understand? Okay. Hello.
I can hear you. I said yes.
Uh, good, 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 good. So we are moving forward. Very easy. You can practice. Just in fact, practice it safe. Assignment. Practice this stuff. Go through the notes. Practice it. So what is happening is that outer runs and return inner. The outers, this one runs to return what? To return inner. Can does not disappear. Inner closes over what? Can't. Each call updates the same can't. So whenever you call it again, because you'll be calling it one by one, one by one. Like this now, you are seeing it. Call the first one, you get one. Call the second one, you get two. Call the third one, you get three. So you'll be calling it one by one, 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 one by one. So for you to get your desired result. So now you are doing something that you supposed to you you can actually use looping for this one, but you say you want to do it manually, right? So you do it and you get your result. So real world analogy for closure. A closure is like a pack, backpack. The inner function carries variables from where it was created. So that's it. So summary, this is something you can actually like practice practice it. Is it the note? Summary, function declaration is hosted and is called function. Function expression stored in a variable. Parameters, placeholder in a function. Return value, output of a function. Then function scope, variables only exist inside function. Block scope, let and constant exist only webs inside the curly bracket. Closure, function remember outer variables. Yeah, so that's for function. Moving forward to array. Come on, what is an array? Array is a list that stores multiple values in a single variable. Array is a list that store multiple values in a specific order. In a variable. Store multiple values in a variable or in a specific order in a variable. Example, let fruit equal to what? Then you see a square. Apple, banana, orange. Now you see that you have gotten list of what? Items, right? Then you now we bring everything together and save it in one variable. So you should know that arrays are zero indexed. That the first item is at index 0. It's always its index always starts with what? 0. So in this place now, what are you expected to see here? What is this index? What is the index of this apple? Please
It says start with zero now.
start with 0. Then what is index of banana?
This the starting is B.
Is what?
Is B now the index? The first this can start with B.
Alright. What is the index for apple? Will not leave you until you get this thing. What is the index of apple? Sure, you can see my screen. You can see what they write here. Arrays are 0 indexed. That is, the first item is at index 0. Remember indices now. Remember when we want to convert logarithm to indices. Abi logarithm, when you want to convert base 10 to base 2, all those JS3, abi JS1, JS2, JS1 stuff. Converting base 10 or converting a figure that is in base 10, yeah, converting a figure maybe 2000 naira now, or let's say 204. You want to convert it is in base 10, you want to convert it to base 2. That's where you now have, you now go that's you now go up now. Up now you now say 0, 1, you up 2. Do you still remember that stuff? Converting base 10 to base 2.
Yes.
Remember, abi? Remember that when you want to convert, maybe you have maybe you have this thing now. Maybe you want to convert 2, 3, 4, 5 base 10 to base 2, right? Now get, so at the top of this 5 now, that's where you now start with 0. 0, 1, 2, 3. Do you understand? You now do 2 times 10 raised to power, first here, 0, 1, 2, 3. 2 times 10 raised to power 3. 2 times 10 raised, 3 times 10 raised to power 2. 4 times 10 raised to power 1. 5 times 10 raised to power 0. Do you understand? So you see the same thing they are also telling us over here. So it is what arrays are zero index. So the initial index is always zero. Initial index is always zero. So what that's
Yeah.
what it mean here now. So now I want to now ask you please, what is the index of apple?
0.
What is the index of banana?
1.
Eh?
1.
What is the index of orange?
2.
Two, correct. So that's it. Then arrays have different method. Push. Push is used to add to the end. POP, remove from the end. Or shift, add to the beginning. A shift, remove from the beginning. Then ah, that's all. So this is an array. You can create an array. Very easy to create an array. Then you can now practice with this stuff. Push. Then simply tell you now you are simply saying fruit dot push. Fruit dot push. You now get push is used to what? Out to the end. So let's say you want to push apple no, you want to push pineapple now to the end. You simply do fruit dot push, fruit dot push, then the name of what you want to push into the end part of the array, which is this side. Do you understand? So we have different methods in array. So this coming week we will take our time to look at array and object. Array and object this coming week. In fact, I can even just wake up on Sunday and say let's do meeting because I want to try to finish this JavaScript as soon as possible. But please just make sure that you watch the videos before next week Monday, because if you just continue like this and you don't get what we talked about previously, it will be very hard for you to understand or for you to comprehend. Do you understand? So please uh just help us. Hmm? Help us so that we can move very fast. Not very, very fast actually, but so we can move fast. You understand? Then also talk to you can also talk to those guys in that group chat. Talk to them. I need a recording now.